I have to listen to the break room episode from last week.
Yes, you do.
I have to, because I've heard so many spoilers and now I'm so curious.
You have to, but you have to be alone with your headphones on.
Shall I do it from an anonymous account as well?
No, it's okay.
Oh,
but if you click any links, maybe you need an anonymous account.
Oh, I'm so glad it's July, guys.
It's mid-July, actually.
Mid-July. And by the time this episode is going to be out, I'm going to be back from my holiday. I'm leaving tomorrow.
No. This is Wednesday, so you won't be back yet.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to leave tomorrow. But I'm excited that we're ending this week with this episode. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Ooh, you didn't ask this time.
I didn't ask you, actually, yeah.
Yes.
Have no clue.
I think you will like this one.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Mm-hmm. So, in 2012, Marissa Mayer...
Oh, we go to Marissa, okay.
Yes. Had managed to convince the whole world that she was the woman that had everything. She was smart, successful, incredibly rich, young, beautiful, and the woman that would save Yahoo when in the previous 5 years, 7 male CEOs had failed to save Yahoo.
Poor her.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't get me started already. About women being positioned in companies that are failing. You've heard about this?
We talked about this before. It's called the glass cliff.
Yeah.
So basically, when you have a position or a job that there is no way to succeed, then you hire a woman.
Yeah.
And it happens. And this was Marissa, actually.
Is it intentional, or is it like men don't apply for it because they're too scared that it's going to fail?
I think both.
And then women might say, I don't know, might be more optimistic that let's give this a try. It's a good challenge, right?
I mean, the most recent one, yesterday, Linda Yakarinov, ex, quitted her job. So you see, it happens.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, let's go to Marissa.
Let's go to Marissa. So 5 years later, in 2017, when Yahoo was finally sold to Verizon, as you said, it was Marissa's fault.
Yeah, of course. Not all the years that surpassed
that Yahoo,
that moment.
Fail again and again and again and again, and they missed, all the opportunities in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So Marissa was born in 1975 in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Her father was an environmental engineer, and her mother was an art teacher.
Okay.
She grew up a middle-class child and generally had a comfortable life growing up.
Cool.
She was always a good student and always the girl who was studying when other teenagers were out partying or doing whatever teenagers do.
Okay.
So she was, what's the word? A little bit of a geek.
A nerd. For her teenage years, yeah.
Yes. And she described herself as painfully shy.
Aww. I've seen so many shy teenagers becoming amazing social adults, which I love. I love when I see this contrast.
Marissa was always shy, okay, even when she was successful. But you put her on a stage in front of an audience, and she's a different person.
Yeah.
So she has this switch that if she has an audience and she's on a stage, she's amazing.
It's a skill. It's a skill. People say, I'm introvert, I can't be on stage, but actually, even introverts can't learn the skill to be great on stage. And there are extroverts who never practice how to be on stage, and then they are not as good as they expect to be because,
In 1993, Marissa applied and was accepted into 10 different universities, including Harvard, Yale, Duke, and Stanford.
Wow.
So to decide where she will go, she created a spreadsheet and put the negatives and the positive, and she made a formula to decide which university to go to.
As you do. You have to have the pros and the cons. And then your heart. Where does the heart say?
So based on the spreadsheet and her formulas, she decided to go to Stanford. And I've heard a speech that she was giving, and she had a very specific goal and vision for her life. So imagine being 17, and this is your goal. Her goal was to become a pediatrics neurosurgeon, teach at the medical school, and take on the side extraordinary medical cases.
Wow. So she was mission driven.
Yes, she was 17. Yeah, imagine having this vision when you're 17 or 18.
Wow.
But then when she got to Stanford and started taking medical classes, she realized that all she was doing was memorizing information. And after taking an introductory computer science class, she decided to change directions. So there is this story that I've seen this story in interviews. I've read this story in a book that I read about Marissa, and I've heard her in a speech saying this story. And it's a story about why she decided to change and go into computer science. And I'm not sure that this story is true or if it's a story that sounds nice. So she tells the story because it sounds nice.
Okay.
I will tell you the story and you tell me if you believe her that this actually it's a true story.
Yeah.
So the summer before she started at Stanford, she went to a science camp. One day, a postdoctoral fellow from Yale named Zun Nujen, it's a Chinese name, so anyway, came to talk to the campers. He gave them puzzles and riddles, and for days, the campers couldn't stop talking about his visit. Finally, one counselor said, you've got it all wrong. It's not what Zun knows, it's how Zun thinks. The counselor said that the most remarkable thing about Zun was not what he knew, but that he was able to put himself in a completely new environment or given a new problem, and within minutes, he will ask the right questions and make the right observations. So the phrase, it's not what Zun knows, it's how Zun thinks, became her motto. And that was the reason she decided to change directions.
I see that because you said she started memorizing knowledge in medical school, which is a lot about memorizing, also understanding, but lots of memorizing, right? But
it's not about thinking and finding solutions.
Yeah, probably that comes later in the later years of medical school, but not the first ones where you're learning how the body works and everything.
Yes.
But in computer science, it's from day one to think about how to solve problems.
Yes.
It's less about memorizing.
But do you think this story is true, or is this something that she made up?
I can see that.
Okay.
I admire people who ask the right questions, and I'm like, wow, like that this happened to me. That it's something that I admire. I saw people who have been thinking in such a structured, methodical way that I was jealous, like inspired. So yeah, I think other people would find that interesting as well.
Okay. So after taking the introductory computer science class, she found a degree at Stanford called Symbolic Systems. It's a combination of linguistics, philosophy, cognitive psychology, and computer science. And it's the same degree that Reid Hoffman of LinkedIn, Scott Forstall of Apple, and Mike Krieger, founder of Instagram, have.
Okay.
So that was her degree.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only computer science, it's philosophy, psychology.
That's an amazing combo.
Yes.
It's an amazing combo.
I would love to have this degree.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to think of how human brain works and how emotions work, like how emotions are being created within us in order then to create the solutions.
To build a product.
Yeah.
That humans want to use.
Yeah, exactly.
So as a student, again, in the university, she was the kind that studied all the time, and that when they were in a group project, she will be the one that will, if the students were like drinking or, talking about us, she would, no, we are here for a group project. Please concentrate. We have to study. That was her, her vibe, her style.
Okay. But I mean, she was like that since she was a teenager, right?
And she didn't have any close friends at this point yet.
Okay.
Although she was into a lot of activities and she was doing a lot of things, she didn't have close friends. So after getting her degree, she went on to get a master's degree. And while doing her master's degree, she also taught introductory programming. And because she was a very good presenter, the job of a teacher was something that suited her, and all her classmates assumed that what she was going to do, that she would become a teacher.
I heard that a lot from me. Okay.
But after graduating from Stanford in 1999, she had several job offers, some of them with quite high salaries. Again, she went and she created a spreadsheet trying to compare the different offers.
Okay.
Among these offers, there was an offer to be an intern at a startup with a very strange name.
Oh, 1999. Startups with straight. Oh, I wouldn't know.
I mean, you know.
I do?
You do know. Google.
That's a strange name.
Yes.
Okay.
1999, that's strange.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we call it Googlies.
So because she was doing this spreadsheet, she created a formula to calculate the chances of Google failing.
Oh.
And according to her calculation, Google had a 98% chance of failing.
98?
Yes.
Oh, so Google was a startup at that time.
Yeah, 1999.
Then that's fair. I mean, most startups fail. So why wouldn't this one?
But still, she decided to go and work for Google. So do you remember the internet before Google and how we used to browse the web before Google?
Did we?
I did.
Come on. When did you browse?
I mean, okay, we got internet in Cyprus, I think, in 1996. Google wasn't a thing until 1999. So we had 3 years.
I didn't have a computer those years.
So I will explain. So before Google, we relied heavily on web portals. And there were things like Yahoo, Alta Vista, Excite, Lycos, and MSN. And these were curated directories. So they were human-made directories, and they were structured hierarchically. So if you wanted to find a website about astronomy, you would click through a list of categories like science, astronomy, resources. And it was less about searching and more about browsing manually and, click, and eventually end up where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And that's why we used to call this surfing, web surfing.
Yeah, of course.
We had search engines, sort of search engines.
Within those human-made
but
directories.
they had nothing to do with, what you know. Basically, you had keyword search. And then if you, for example, search for something like Lion King, you will get pages that had the word lion a lot of times in them and the word king a lot of time in them. But they had no way to give you a relevant result. It's just, lion, this website has the word lion 1,000 times. So maybe that's what you are looking for.
Wow.
So, search was not functional.
So cool to be one of the first employees at Google.
Yes. So we had things like Netscape Navigator, was the first browser before even Internet Explorer that had built-in link to curated web pages, like what's new and what's cool. So the browser had these links built in so that you could find things. So, and these links were, imagine there were teams that they were trying to find every website and, put them in this list.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was still possible because the web was small enough.
Yeah.
I mean, in 1995, I think there were something like 6,000 websites.
Only.
So, I mean, Yes, it's a lot of website, but it's still manageable to create a list by hand.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God.
How many are they today?
6,000. Even Cyprus has more than that.
No, I mean, I think Cyprus has like millions already. But in the world, billions, trillions, I don't know how many. I remember the first time I used Google.
You remember?
It's one of those surreal things that you are used to typing and you get something relevant and then you type something and you get the answer you are looking for. You're like, wait, what happened here? This thing works. Because you are not used
I don't need to open an encyclopedia anymore.
but because we are not used to searching and finding what we are looking for, when you search and you find what you are looking for, you're like, it's like the first time you use ChatGPT, you're like,
wow, it speaks like a human.
Yeah, it's the same feeling. Or, I mean, do you remember the first time you use a touchscreen, an iPhone?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. You do the gesture, the hand gesture, and it zooms, and you're like, wow.
Actually, I remember when I have a picture of when I used Google for the first time, and it was not on not on my computer. A friend had a computer, and we used Google to search, and I remember the colorful letters.
Yes.
That's what I remember.
The very first Google logo was this 3D, very ugly thing, and it was still colorful.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Google for a second. So in 1995, Larry Page, a PhD student, newly arrived at Stanford, and he met Sergey Brin, who was assigned to show him around.
Mm-hmm.
And these two guys, they were both child prodigies, and they were used to being the smartest person in the room. So
then you put them together.
Yes,
dun, dun, dun.
Yes, and suddenly they met each other. And so they say that when they first met, they didn't get along, and they were constantly debating and challenging each other.
Which is expected.
Yeah, because if you are used to being the top and then you find somebody that can challenge you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, okay, can I win?
Yeah.
And they started clashing.
Wow.
But apparently they were clashing, but they were also, they were not compatible. They were, they fitted together.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't find intellectually smart people as you, for those people who are, if they're already so smart, to find people who match their
intelligence.
Yeah, their intelligence is a rare thing.
Yeah. So Larry became interested in understanding the structure of the web, particularly the way websites link to each other. Mm-hmm. So he saw the web as this massive graph and wanted to analyze which pages were linking to each other. And he believed that the links could be treated like academic citations. The more times a paper is cited, the more influential it is likely to be.
Nice.
So why not apply the same principle to web pages?
Of course.
So obviously it's much, much more complicated than that, but the basic idea of Google was that you rank a website based on how many people are linking to it, and depending on who links to you, if it's a more credible source, then that the link has more value than the link of a random website.
Yeah. At the same time, if a website has a very good hook as a title, but then shitty content, then I would open the link and close it immediately or very quickly. And that shouldn't count as credibility.
Yeah, but what? Okay, I mean,
so would it win more credibility if people spend more time on the website?
No, we're not there yet.
Which came much later.
All of those, the initial version is like, the more links, it's just you are following the link. If there is a link, the more links,
the more weight on the
more weight. But if the website linked to you has already a good weight, then that website gives you more weight. So if the New York Times are linking to you, it has more credibility that random website.com linking to you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's the same idea with the academic citations. So the more prestigious the journal, and who is, referencing you, the better for you.
Yeah.
But also the volume of the references matters.
Mm.
So Larry started a project called Backup in 1996. And if you go, you can find recreation of this website. There is actually a hand that does the backup. It's very strange. It's kind of creepy.
What is this hand?
The project originally was called Backup. So it's the hand rubbing a bag.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that is very creepy.
Yeah, but it's 1996, so yeah. So they created this crawler that was going around and
Wrapping their bag.
it was going around, crawling the web and downloading. Basically, their idea, which at the time was that we will download the whole web to find the link. And it was the right time because like a year later, the web was already 700 times larger.
Wow.
So it will be impossible in an academic institution to have the resources and the money to do it.
Yeah.
But it was the right time that they could do this with the money that they had as PhD students. If they were like a year later, that would be impossible.
Wow.
So they did this, and actually at some point they brought down the whole Stanford network doing this.
Because of downloading all the time?
Yeah, because it was intensive work.
Wow. And it was just the two guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is an academic project at the time. And as the academic project evolved, Everso came in 1997 and they registered the domain google.com. So basically, Google is a misspell because they were going for the word Google, Googol, and it means it's one followed by 100 zeros. But they misspelled it because they didn't know how to spell it. And so they wrote it how we know how to write.
Really?
Yes.
Where does the website Google take you now?
I have no idea.
Where's my phone? I don't have my phone here.
Wait, let me try. Do I have internet? I think I do. Google.
Probably takes you to Google.
Wait, Google, no.com. My keyboard is in Greek.
It'd be cool if it takes you to the history of Google and explains all of this.
Let's see. It goes to Google, yes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Wait, I put it in the search box. Wait, let me put it in the browser, actually. This site can be reached. Nobody has it.
Can't be reached. Okay. Maybe we should take it then.
I think it will
It's going to be very expensive.
Buy it. Probably Google owns it because they never did anything with it. So, yes, this is Google, the early Google. And in July 1999, Marissa arrived at Google. She was employed...
As an intern?
Yes. She was employee number 20 and the first female software engineer at Google.
Yay!
And on her second day on the job, she went to the kitchen to get coffee and found Larry Page standing in a corner.
Okay.
And he told her that he was hiding because the website was down.
In the corner of the kitchen.
Yeah, Google.com was down and he was hiding. So basically what happened was that Google had just signed a deal with Netscape to handle search queries from Netscape.com.
Okay.
But Google only had 300 computers serving search results and had asked Netscape to send only a fraction of the traffic. Netscape ignored them and sent all their users to Google.
Oh, wow.
And Google.com came down.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
And he went to the kitchen to hide.
And the intern was like, what am I doing here? This guy.
This story is from a book I read, her biography. I heard a different version of this story, which is basically that the website didn't come down, but because they couldn't handle the traffic, they decided to close Google.com to be able to serve Netscape until they could buy more computers and, they could handle more traffic.
Oh, man. I mean, both scenarios is like, wow. Yeah, that's such a good problem to have.
Yes. Given the situation, Marissa had to work from morning until late at night. But for the first time, she was happy because she was finally with a team of people that she got along with.
Yeah. I mean, it was her first job as well.
Yes.
But she got along with them.
She was among geeks for the first time, and she was a geek.
Aww.
So she got along. But even though she started as a software engineer at Google, she soon pivoted to working on UI and design for Google search. On one of her first projects was to decide... actually, this is not in the story, but this is a story I read that was very interesting. So they were doing some focus groups, okay? So of how people were using Google. And Google, even today, is this little search box. And I think if you go google.com, there is only a little search box. So people were used to these big catalogs and links and hierarchies and a lot of banners around because that was the revenue model of the time. So they will take them, they will open the computer, they will write to them google.com, and they will tell them, use this website. And people were just sitting there doing nothing. And they will go to them and will say, why are you not using the website? Do you have any question? And people were saying, we are waiting for it to load.
Oh, of course. It's too empty to be the real website.
Yes. And that was one of Marissa's projects to evaluate how people were using Google.
Wow. But she chose to keep it, right?
Yes, of course.
So they had to change the mindset of the people.
Yeah, because people were used to this flashy website with, banners and all kind of, you remember the 90s, how the websites were. So one of her first projects was to decide whether Google search results should use serif or sans serif fonts. You know the difference between the two?
I don't remember.
So, serif fonts have a small line or stroke attached to the end of the letters.
The thing that makes it very ugly.
They are more, they have...
old. And now it feels old.
Yes. And sans serifs are the more plain, sans means without in Latin, I think. So they are the more plain kind of letters. So she discovered that serif fonts are more readable, but sans serif fonts are easier to read. It sounds confusing, right?
It does.
So what does this mean? It means that serif fonts are better when you are reading a long text, but sans serif fonts make it easier to recognize a letter faster.
Yeah.
So since no one reads the entire page of result, but people, scan through to find the relevant search result, the answer was to use a sans serif font.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it.
So that was one of your first projects.
So if you're going to have a big text that people need to read carefully, then you choose serif fonts. But if most of the times people want to just skim and get the information they need, then you use sans serif.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in March 2000, Larry Page took a new role on top of his role as CEO. He became chief of products. And he decided that he will meet once a week with senior executives from across Google to review products. Marissa jumped on the chance to run the meetings for him.
Nice.
Soon she was setting the agenda for each meeting, determining which Google products will be discussed and who will be invited to the meetings.
And she would be in those meetings as well?
Yes.
Was this her full-time job now, or?
Yes, she was, running the product teams for Google. I mean, there were no product teams yet, but when Larry Page was having these meetings about the products, she would run the meetings and set the agenda and,
Okay.
So less than a year after being hired as a junior coder, Marissa was in charge of the meetings that defined the look of Google.com and literally setting the agenda for the products Google will build.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to comment on the fact that she was handling the meetings. I guess, you know how usually in companies, we tend to have more women to organize meetings and minutes and all of that. But at the same time, I see the opportunity here that Marissa grabbed to organize the meetings and be there so she could get all the context, which is very smart thing to do.
But she was also setting the agenda.
Yeah.
She was the one, that was controlling what is going to be discussed, how it's going to be discussed.
Based on what Larry need as well.
Yes, but she had control over this process, a lot of control over this process.
That's good. How long did she stay in Google?
Until 2012. So 13 years.
13 years.
So do you know the gossip about Marissa and Larry?
No.
So at some point in the year 2000, she began dating Larry Page.
Oh. When?
The same year, 2000.
2000.
So years later, she was accused of that this was the reason for her success.
Of course. I mean,
but
everybody, of course that she would be accused of that. Not that is true.
But the truth is that they were very discreet in their relationship. And it's more likely that Larry Page noticed her and began dating her because she was so good at her job rather than, the other way around. Because she was there all the time and she was helping him and, he noticed her. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it is natural. I mean, if...
yeah, and especially because they were spending so much time together.
Yeah, and if they didn't do anything else, like if Larry didn't go out much, which is my perception.
No, yes, I think he's a bit... Of the two between Larry and Sergey Brin is the more social one, the more extrovert one. Larry Page, I think, is more introvert. Maybe he has a bit... I think when I look at him, I think he has some of the traits that maybe he's autistic. I don't know. He gives me this impression that is more...
Well, for people who are more introverted as well, because they don't go out much, they only see the people who they see at work. So it's more likely to like somebody from there than outside of work.
Yeah. So in 2003, then Google CEO Eric Schmidt assigned Marissa Mayer to be officially responsible for the look and feel of all Google consumer products, including search. And in 2005, he made her a vice president.
Wow.
And her face and resume were featured on Google's website.
Woo, woo.
From the time she took over Google's UI meetings in 2000 and for several years, Marissa had an incredible run. And Google search killed all of the competitors and dominated the industry. Gmail, Google Maps, Google News, all of these products were, handled by Marissa to be launched.
Wow.
And she had a lot of input on how they would look and how they would function.
Okay.
And these products succeeded in a large part because Marissa was obsessed with simplifying the user path, the screens and processes that the typical users click through to use them. So she was very obsessed with, we have to make this simple, less clicks, You have to be able to do this in, tick, tick, and find what you are looking for.
How big was Google at that time, 2005?
I mean, I don't know, but Google was growing like crazy. So by 2005, probably thousands of people.
Okay.
So one of the successful things Marissa did at Google was a program called Associate Product Managers.
All right.
So an associate product manager is responsible for collecting product data, conducting customer research, coordinating with stakeholders, and developing new product features.
So she created a program for people to become associate product managers.
Yes. This idea of the product owner, as we know it today, it starts from here. That this program, that there is somebody that owns this product and it is responsible for this product.
All right.
Basically, they were called associate product managers, but it's the same thing as a product owner. And so in 2005, Marissa and Larry Page broke up eventually.
2005.
Yes. And Larry Page got married in 2007 and Marissa in 2009 to venture fund manager Zachary Bork.
Okay. So nobody left their job. They continued being in the same company.
And they were there, and I don't know what happened. They broke up. They moved on.
They knew how to handle it and be decent at work.
Yeah,
great.
So the last notable thing we have to discuss about her years at Google is the relationship she had developed with the press.
Mm-hmm.
So her first interview was in 2001 with Walt Mossberg after pressure. So she
didn't want to?
No. But as the time went on, Google PR firm, instead of asking Larry Page and Sergey Brin to do interviews, who most of the time, A, they didn't want to do it, B, they were terrible at it, they started sending Marissa to do the interviews.
Okay.
Because she was smart, she knew all of Google products better than anyone else, and as a bonus, she was young, sexy, and she had an expensive taste in clothes and shoes and accessories.
So she was presentable.
Yes. So she was wearing things like Oscar de la Lenta, Carolina Herrera, Manolo Blahnik. So okay. She was the fashion icon of Silicon Valley. But the point is that she was young. She knew everything. She was very smart.
About Google products.
And she was very presentable. Yeah. And Larry Page and Sergey Brin was nothing like that.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to talk. They didn't know how to present themselves. So yeah. So she became the face of Google. The journalists were going, hey, we want Marissa.
And at the beginning, she didn't want to.
No.
But then she learned how to grow into that.
So I want to show you a photo of her from a profile that Vogue did for her in 2009, titled Machine Dreams. And I think you've seen this picture before. And it's inside her office at Google. And let me show you the photo.
I don't think I have seen the photo, but
it's very well known.
I have not seen the photo.
Okay. Do you want to describe this photo?
Wow. So that's her.
That's her in her office in Google.
I could easily say that this photo is AI generated. Nowadays, yes. I could have said that just because of how perfect she seems. Like, I mean, she's wearing a red dress, the same red color as the ball that she's sitting on. Very nice hair and her face, like very, very chic.
And you notice all the gigging details behind.
All the nerdy things behind, like a rocket. I can see lots of Google colors around. A statue.
Yes, a Greek statue for some reason.
A Greek statue, of course. What else would you have there? Can I zoom in?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a whiteboard behind her.
I can't read. Steal the information.
I think it's too late to steal anything from Google now.
Okay, all right.
So that's her in 2000. I will share the photo, of course. But yes, she's very chic. So the thing is that with all the attention on her, she started making enemies.
Oh.
In 2001, Marissa pitched an idea. She called it Universal Search. And she made some mock-ups. It was a fake search result page for the query in Britney Spears. Instead of 10 blue links, because the initial Google was just
the blue links. Yeah, of course.
It featured news, images, groups, and link.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, in 2006, she managed to convince the engineers to build the universal search. And then after this, so the universal search is what we see today. And when you search, you see also pictures and other stuff, not just the links. And then after that, she created instant search, which is, as you are typing, results start showing up without even pressing, search.
Yeah.
But throughout this process, Marissa was constantly clashing with Amit Shingal, who was the head engineer of Google Search.
When did he join?
He was one of the first engineers.
So before her?
Maybe before her, yes.
Okay.
So he believed in the power of algorithms, but Marissa was always focused on the user experience. And one example of their many disagreements is the search for suicidal thoughts. So using purely the algorithm ranking, and Google did not introduce a national suicide prevention lifeline. And Marissa felt that the number should obviously be included near the top of the results. But Amit was saying, no, because we cannot make this process manual and the algorithm needs to decide. So he was saying, no, if the algorithm doesn't rank it, we shouldn't, get in there and put this on the top by hand.
So he had a more absolute way of thinking that they shouldn't create an exception
for anything.
Although Marissa was thinking, what is more humane to do? What is kinder to do as a company that serves results across the web?
So it's natural that if somebody is searching for suicide, to give him help. And even though the algorithm doesn't rank this high enough, we should go in there and put it high enough.
Yeah, of course.
But he was saying no, because this thing doesn't scale.
It's such a common tension to have at work. Like I've seen this happening a lot between developers and user researchers or tech and product. Like, I can think of many examples like that. Yeah.
So I get that, you cannot intervene by hand to everything, but sometimes you have to, right?
But then the question, I guess, that this guy had was, how do you choose when to do it and when not?
And how does this scale?
Yeah, how do you automate this?
You don't. And that was his problem.
Yeah.
So eventually the Google search team started to malfunction. And someone had to be in charge. So Larry Page, believing that Google was first and foremost a technology company, chose Singal.
No.
And in 2010, Marissa was transferred to the Google Maps team. Technically, it was a promotion. In practice, it was a demotion. And as early as April 2000.
Why was it a demotion?
Because she was in charge of Google search and then she went to Google Maps. So it's
like the product is less used than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as early as April 2011, Business Insider had been predicting that Marissa would leave Google. And Marissa says that Yahoo headhunted her, but the truth is that she wanted to leave Google and she did try a lot to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2012, she is appointing the CEO of Yahoo. Yahoo is in trouble and Marissa is going to Yahoo to save Yahoo.
Okay.
So let's talk a little, very, very quickly what Yahoo is. So Yahoo began in 1994 as Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web. And it was created by two Stanford students, Jerry Yang and David Philo. And it was the original portal, like what I said in the beginning with the links, that was Yahoo.
So Yahoo came first.
Yes, and it was a portal. It was a handmade, list. And it was very instrumental in the first years of the internet, but then it started missing critical opportunities. Most famously one in 2006, it failed to acquire Facebook for just $1 billion. Yes. Imagine buying Facebook for $1 billion.
Whoa.
And they said no to this. Or actually, I think it was Mark Zuckerberg who said no to this. Yes. They proposed $1 billion to buy and he said no.
Whoa.
It was a good decision.
Yeah, of course.
So over the years, the company became a cautionary tale of tech mismanagement, cycling through 7 male CEOs in just 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
And by the time Marissa Mayer became CEO in 2012, Yahoo had lost its edge, culture, and clarity, and it became a bloated and focused shell of its former self.
Does it still exist?
Yahoo?
Yeah.
Yes. It was sold to Verizon eventually.
So why does it still exist?
I mean, it doesn't...
Who is serving?
I don't know. It exists. I mean, it doesn't mean that it has real revenue but it exists. A lot of things exist. I don't know. Many analysts predicted that her appointment would revitalize the company, which had been struggling. And she oversaw a major redesign of Yahoo's homepage, which was launched in 2013. Mm-hmm. And Yahoo stock rose from $15 to $42.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
a good success.
So she did a lot of work to change Yahoo culture. She bought Tumblr for $1.1 billion. And for a while, it looked like she might actually be able to do it, to save Yahoo. And in 2013, when it still looked like she might be able to save Yahoo, she did another interview with Vogue titled Hail to the Chief.
Hate to the chief.
Yes, and I want to show you the photo from the interview. That's here.
Wow. I mean, she continues to be very chic.
Yes. Do you want to describe this one?
Yeah. So she's laying down on a vertical chair, a white chair, and she's wearing a blue dress, very chic high heel shoes as well. Same blonde hair. Like, is she holding a face? She's holding a piece of paper.
It's an iPad with your face in it.
It's her face. So weird.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. It's all about me.
Yeah. What was the point of the interview?
Hail to the chief.
Hate to the chief.
Hail to the chief. That she is the chief.
Hail.
Hail. Hi.
I hail. Oh.
Yes.
Hail to the chief. Okay.
So do you remember that when she was hired to Yahoo, she was 6 months pregnant? Do you remember this? So when she was hired, she was very pregnant.
And she managed to do all of this in the first year?
Yes, but the thing is that there were many scandals when she was in Yahoo. And one of the many scandals that came to light when Marissa was CEO of Yahoo was related to her pregnancy and how she handled both her pregnancy and motherhood. She initially only took 2 weeks of maternity leave, which was heavily criticized for.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you need more time to raise
The truth is that when she started, it would have been very difficult for her to take an extended maternity leave. I mean,
it is difficult, but you raise your child once. Like, it's not every day that you have a 0-month-old baby in your hands, and you're the mother, and you need to help this baby grow.
This is the decision that the men never have to take. So she wanted the CEO job. So either if she said, I'm going to take the CEO job and then I'm going on maternity leave for 6-7 months, they would have given her the job. Probably no.
I mean, why do we need to compare 6-7 months with 2 weeks? There are so many alternatives in between.
But the point also for a month, this is never a problem.
Yeah, it's not. It's never a problem, of course.
But she was ambitious. She wanted the job, so she made the decision. And yes, she gave a bad example. But then on the other hand, was her option.
I would never care to judge publicly her decisions. But this is what media do anyway, so that's why it happened. But yeah, I mean, if I would criticize it, yeah, I would say I don't agree with it, but it's not my problem. It's not my life.
So 2 months after giving birth, Marissa told an audience at a conference for women in business, the baby was a lot easier than everyone said. What she didn't say was that thanks to her incredible wealth and power at Yahoo, she had a lot of help with her son, McAllister. She had a full-time staff at home, and at Yahoo, she knocked down a wall in her office and created a daycare for McAllister and his nanny, so the baby could come to the office with her every day.
That's really good.
And the thing is that she said it's easy, but this is not an option that most women have. She had this option because she was wealthy. But most women don't have this option. They cannot do this.
Yeah.
And in December 2015, she gave birth to twin girls and took only 5 days of maternity leave.
5 days?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
On the one hand, I get her, but on the other hand, she's setting a very bad example.
Yeah, she does. Because then you have other men saying, if Marissa did it, why don't you? And women who want to prioritize raising their babies up to a few months old at least, if not a year, then they can never see themselves taking that kind of position.
And the thing is that she says it's easy. Yes, it's easy if you are
privileged. If you're privileged.
But most women, even if you are a privileged woman, you still most probably wouldn't have this option that Marissa had.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you have a very good job, can you afford a full-time nanny to be with you 24/7?
No, you can't do that with a full-time job.
Even if you have a very good salary, you probably cannot afford it.
And you certainly cannot throw down a wall to create space for them to hang out in the office with you.
Yes. So, yeah. Marissa has been credited with drastically improving Yahoo's product design. But unfortunately, Yahoo's core business revenue never grew. Ultimately, her attempt to save Yahoo, like all previous attempts, failed. And in 2016, it was announced that the company's core asset will be sold to Verizon Communications. Before the deal was finalized, it was revealed that a major security breach in 2014 had affected more than 1 billion Yahoo customers.
Wow. And so that was under her watch.
And they delayed to disclose this and until 2 years later.
Who delayed to disclose this?
Yahoo and Marissa. So
disclose it to who?
To the public. So the breach happened in 2014 and they admitted it in 2016.
Wow. So they didn't want to admit it.
1 billion passwords were stolen and they never told the two users.
Whoa.
But Marissa ultimately walked away with a 23 million severance package.
23 million?
Yes.
Just like that?
Yes. And the deal was finalized in 2017, at which point Marissa resigned from Yahoo.
Resigned?
Yes.
With the package.
Yes. So after that, in 2018, Marissa founded Lumi Labs with the goal of building consumer application enabled by artificial intelligence.
Consumer applications?
Yes.
AI powered.
Yes. And the company was renamed Sunshine in 2020. And that year it launched the first product called Sunshine Contacts, a content management app.
Contact management app. Did you use it?
I tried to find it. It doesn't exist outside the US. But contact management, it's like...
Why?
It sounds very basic.
I use Google on my phone.
Yeah. So today, Marissa is worth almost $1 billion.
Okay, but is her company making money?
I don't know I don't think that the company is making money, but she is running this company and she's also making the rounds at tech conferences and panels.
Okay.
Plus, she had enough stock options in Google to never have to really work ever again.
Yeah, so she's experimenting, which I respect a lot. If you have the time and the money to experiment, that's like gold. For me, it's like dream. Whenever I can to take time to experiment. So
that's Marissa. That's her story. I have two final comments for her before we close the story. One, people that profile Marissa often portray her as stubborn, self-confident, dismissive, self-promoting, and aware of how she sometimes hurts other people's feelings.
I can tell all of those things for several men in leadership positions.
This was my thought exactly. But why do we have to point this out? Because she's a woman.
And how often do you hear this form? Like, can you say the list of the adjectives again?
Stubborn, self-confident, dismissive, self-promoting, and unaware of how she sometimes hurts other people's feelings.
I mean, especially that one. I mean, I know there is good press and bad press for every chief executive of any popular company. So I'm not surprised that there is bad criticism. But I do notice these kind of adjectives, like this kind of commentary to be mostly for women than men. And we do know, I'm sure everybody listening to this knows at least 2-3 men who fit that profile.
Yes. But it's never pointed out in this way.
Yeah, yeah.
So the other thing, the last thing, is that in 2013, she told at an interview at Business Insider that she's not a feminist and she's blind to gender.
She said that.
Yes.
She's blind to gender. It reminded me of, I saw a video at some point where you had two kids. One was black, one was white. And an adult was telling them, oh yeah, I don't see the color. You're the same. I don't see it. And it's ridiculous.
Because if you are making this comment, then you are seeing the color.
I mean, they were talking about the color, obviously the skin color, but by dismissing it, you're not accepting it. Like it's not the same thing to accept it by identifying it and saying, yes, I see it. And I include you, and I accept you, you know, and it doesn't matter. It's not changing my opinion because of that. So it's the same for, yeah.
So that's Marissa.
I'm curious in which context that was said from her.
I think a lot of people were making comment to her because she was a woman, a powerful woman, and maybe somebody asked her about what do you think about feminism. That's how. I'm not sure on the context that she made. What was the question exactly?
I have met a woman in a leadership position, and who didn't think that the lack of women in tech organization is a problem, and. After digging into her past, I've realized that she never struggled. She didn't actually, in her profile, didn't have lots of positions as a junior anywhere. Somehow she got into senior leadership positions straight away. And I think that if you miss that, the opportunity, if you miss the step of being managed by others and have peers and compete for the same promotion, if you don't go through that,
you don't understand.
You don't understand the discrimination that happens in the workplace. So if you don't feel the pain, it's harder for you to empathize and think about why should I be a feminist or not.
I guess Marissa was always successful, although eventually she had to leave Google because a man, was preferred over her. So she did feel this.
But it wasn't as direct.
Yeah,
right.
No.
Like he was chosen to lead search, and with him leading search, she had to move to another product. So it's more. I think that feels more like she lost motivation because now she was in a smaller scale kind of product.
And so she went for the bigger role in Yahoo.
Yeah.
So for me, I cannot say that she didn't make many mistakes, but still I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah.
What about you?
You're referring to the maternity and
all of this. I mean, that she says, I'm not a feminist. She has these qualities that are maybe more male-like, and why she made the decisions to act in this way.
Yeah.
So I get why she's the way she is.
And if you grew in your career surrounded by people emulating a certain set of characteristics and behaviors, it's more likely that you're going to emulate those as well. Mm-hmm. Like it, by not even trying. It's going to happen because that's your environment, and you're going to adapt to your environment. It's rare for people to stand strong with their personality and behavior. And usually that happens many years later when you're already senior and have proven your worth. And you know that your personality as you are works, and you don't need to change or adapt to anything, right? So I see why she changed. If she was from the beginning, I don't know if she changed, but I see why she was given those characteristics because of the environment. I mean, on the maternity, I don't agree personally, because that's not how I would do it. But I also get it that if you just got the position of being a CEO of Yahoo, you're going to give your all. and you want to make it work for your family as much as for your job. And yeah, I would lie if I said I wouldn't try to do the same thing.
Yeah. If you had the opportunity, you mean?
Yeah, like you're optimistic. Like I'm super optimistic, and I would want to try and make it work. Yeah, so I can see that happening.
So that's our story.
Okay.
I hope you enjoy it.
I did. I actually like hearing stories of women in more who are in leadership positions in like most recent companies.
Yes.
Like, I'd love to do more of these.
They are more relatable because it's closer to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you.
Elena, thank you for preparing this story.
So, Mariam, before closing the episode, let's thank the people working for the podcast. Sofia Kafkalia and Chrysanthi Dimitriou that do the editing. Tassos Konstantinou that is, setting up the studio and the cameras and everything else. Konstantinos Psilidis and Leo Akim that are, coordinate everything. Andreas Philaktou that is the producer of the show, and Black Lemon as well.
Thank you, Black Lemon.
And that's it. Thank you and bye, guys.
Bye.